There are specific moments in our journey where we'll feel this calling to commit and devote ourselves in a new way to the mission, the life that we're creating, the art that we're making, the business venture, whatever it is. We can feel intuitively when we're at one of these moments in our life where there's a next level of devotion, a next level of really accepting the mission that is being channeled through you. If you have landed on this episode, you are at one of these moments in your journey right now. So even just take a second and feel into this tap on the shoulder, this calling that you've been experiencing. Maybe you're building a life where you feel like you want to lock in and take it even more seriously. Maybe there's a business, art that you're creating. There is this energy of devotion and a next level lock in that you are sitting in right now. Now, today we are going to be dropping you deep into what it truly means to lock in and what it is that your soul is calling you to do right now in your life. Bella and I have had these chapters of our business, of honestly life in general, where we can sense that we have completed a chapter and there's a new page that's opening, a new chapter that we're opening. And every single time we approach one of these chapters, we sense that there is a lock in that we are being called to take part in. And what we do in our own journey and in our business is that we feel when one of these chapters is arising, and we have certain um, ceremonies that we host together where we tune into certain journeys, we activate certain energies, and we do what we call a total lock in to that next chapter that is unfolding. And these lock ins are such sacred moments in the path because you are saying yes to the energies that want to channel through you. And we're going to drop into a whole deep dive on what a lock in is and how you can really start doing this yourself. But we have experienced firsthand the literal catapult, the slingshot moments that happen after we do what it is that we're going to drop you into now. We lock in. And I feel like these lock in moments, I can just think back to specific chapters in our journey where we had a lock in moment here, a lock in moment here. And I'm thinking specifically about the lock in moment that we had at your house where we both were like swimming in the pool and we were feeling into the frequency of the next chapter that was about to drop in. And we were being initiated to really claim and activate that frequency. And I remember we had a total lock in moment where we were first gaining awareness around this really calling us forward. We were gaining awareness around the next chapter. And then we went in your house and sat at your dining table. And I remember we wrote on like all this different paper that we had laid across, like what we're going to do in this part of our business and how we're going to lock in here. And essentially we were doing what it is that we're going to drop into today. And we have continued to have these beautiful lock in ceremonies that literally catapult us into our next chapter. And I'll just drop you into a little bit here that these lock-ins are very energetic focused. We live in a fully energetic experience. And if you can see that the lock-in chapters are you attuning to a timeline that is ready to drop in, you're ready to experience it, you're ready to render it. And what we have experienced with these lock-ins is complete alignment. We have felt so guided and held as we usher in those new chapters and those higher timelines. We attune ourselves to that frequential state through this action of a lock-in, and everything else regarding the actions we're being called to take, the way we're meant to almost sustain that energy and attune ourselves to that frequency, the energies that are going to come up and be shedding during those moments, we have the awareness on how to actually handle that, because we are approaching it from this frequency first way of locking in. And I'm sharing a little bit of some pieces of what we're going to really drop into now. So if you're feeling like, what the F is she talking about? Perfect. That is exactly how you're meant to feel right now. But by the end of this episode, you're going to have a full understanding of why it is you're feeling the way that you are with this lock-in period that you're in, how it is you can actually lock in and what it means to truly lock in. And we're going to drop you into the anatomy of a lock in. We essentially have really explored the lock in over 2.5 years and have discovered that there's 3 essential pieces, actually 4. There's an overarching, really essential piece, and then there's 3 that fall under that. So 4 essential pieces to this lock in. And we're going to be discussing all of this today. And you're going to feel fired the F up. And if you are a being that wants to integrate this lock-in energy with us, this is exactly what we're going to be doing in the live event that's taking place on December 11th. If you're listening to this after December 11th, you can go and watch the replay. It's still an available transmission. So where do we want to start with this? What's coming through for you? I'm like, let's just drop in. I want to throw the ball on back on your side of the court.
Yeah, I'm feeling into how once a being has experienced a few lock-ins under their belt, you go into pro alchemy mode where, as you'll see as we illustrate the anatomy of a lock-in, what we're referencing here is these 3/4 pieces, you'll start to see how life itself is always assisting you in knowing when it's time for another lock-in moment, right? And there's really seasons of your life and seasons of our collective journey that are screaming for a lock-in moment. We're in one of those right now. The weather right now is like, okay, we're locking in, we're anchoring down. And in this time frame of end of 2025 into early 2026, this is a big season where these energies are so potent, and it's actually really, really precious to be in one of these seasons because energies are shifting so fast, and like the collective timeline that's moving right now is in a bit of like one of the strongest invitations to lock into your mission, your key sense of self that you are, that's going to carry you through for years to come. So it's just a moment to like embrace the aspects of this anatomical situation that are a little bit more uncomfortable, knowing that they are precious and they are a symptom of a greater launch that you're about to experience, of a quantum leap, of you being literally about to fly, being slingshotted back to then catapult forward. And yeah, I just know for the two of us, we're at this point where we know the telltale signs that a lock-in is coming. We know the telltale signs that we are being summoned upward. We are being called to rise into the next iteration of our most true self, and to then arrange our reality according to what is within. And yeah, just that aspect of this being so frequency first, and that this is the approach that actually moves the needle forward. These are the things that create an incredible ripple effect onto everything else in your life. And might I add, this is in alignment with the version of reality that is magical and abundant and is just so in flow with the universal forces around you.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love what you're saying about being called to like rise, because that's the vision I get with these lock-in moments. You're tuning in and feeling the quantum leap that's about to happen in your life, and you're rising to the being in the now. And you're saying, yes, I am this version of me in the now, and I will rise and usher that frequency into my current experience to then render that reality. So let's drop into what is really happening on like more of an energetic side of the lock-in, and also when the mission is really calling you to lock in. And we're going to be talking about the mission a lot throughout just our episodes, and we already do, but I just want to give the caveat again that we all have a mission, and you are the mission, but more importantly, it is a frequency. It is an energy that wants to be ushered through from the unseen to the seen by way of you. And you are the vessel, you are the transmitter. So I really do invite you guys to get out of this world of thinking that, oh, I don't know what I want to do with my career or whatever it is. Like, this is so much more than just a career. This is a way of being. It's a way of carrying yourself through life. And what we're now talking about with the lock-in is that there is a specific energy and frequency that is essentially tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, you are the vessel that I wish to transmit through, that I wish to voyage through from the unseen to the seen. You have the specific codes, you have the specific energy, you have even the specific physical vessel that can hold this frequency so beautifully. And I am choosing you to make this unseen frequency seen and felt in the 3D. And this can be anything from you feeling into a frequency and a state of being that you just carry yourself with. And that is the mission. It can be a life that you're building. It can be how Bella always says, the knitting of the sweaters, or a business or art. There is an energy that is traveling from the unseen to the seen through you, through your art, through your creations, through your energy, your way of being. Now, what is happening with this lock-in is that there is an elevated frequency. It's like the bigger mission, the bigger project, the reality field that feels even more aligned with like your essence is now tapping you on the shoulder saying, it's time. It is freaking time. And this can feel on a human level like, oh, I'm ready to stop being distracted and to lock in and to really go in on this one project or these few projects or this thing in my life, or to walk away from this misaligned thing and stop giving my energy here. But on a deep energetic level, you are being summoned and called forward to step in as the vessel for this energy that wants to come through in an even bigger, more purified way. And when I say purified, I want you to think about how the ego can really kind of swim in emotions and doubt and thoughts that are more so resonating with a lower frequency. They can cause the vessel to attune to a frequency that isn't actually a match to the mission. And then the mission is like wanting to come through, but the vessel isn't purified. It's not attuned. If you are an instrument and you're playing like an A sharp scale and the mission's on like B minus or like F plus, like whatever it is, this is going to be the attunement process, the purification, where you're actually attuning your vessel to match up with the frequency of the mission. So the lock-in moment is when you say yes to being the vessel. You agree and you are accepting that the mission has chosen you and you are choosing the mission back. This is like a one-liner that I've been really carrying in my pocket for the past few weeks now. I put it on that little, the board that you have next to you. The mission chose me and I choose the mission. And this is both personal and very not personal at the same time. It's like, you are so special and you have been chosen, but also this isn't about you. But also it like really is about you. And the lock-in is quite literally the moment where you say yes to being that vessel.
Yeah, you really create space for this to land and make sense and to then become so bio-individualized to you when you think about it through frequency and energy. And that's why we can get into the main 3 pillars of this, the anatomy of the lock-in, which you've already been speaking to. The first one being the attunement pillar. And as Nikki has already beautifully stated, this moment of imagining yourself to be this like wire that a current runs through. All of a sudden, you are seeing that there's a new current running through your wire, and it's carrying that energy of being devoted to your craft, of creative power, of being so in flow with source and creation, listening to your soul, right? With intuitive flow, abundance, being in this state of love and compassion. There's a new current running through the wire, and it's then going to lead to the very natural next process, which is the purification. So now whatever energies were previously running through the wire that are now a non-match to the mission are going to be given the boot. And that process of them getting the boot is sometimes where those feelings of the doubt, the confusion, the fogginess, even the anxiety, whatever that might be that is temporarily running through you, it's all part of this one process. So with these 2 first aspects of attunement and then purification, this is how you can see the sense and kind of the sense in what is occurring to you and for you as you get that first initial very human idea of like, oh, I want to be more organized with this. Like the term, I want to lock into this. And then here's what's happening on the anatomical level to you as this frequential being is getting those codes, seeing the vision, feeling the calling toward the mission. And that's the new current running through your wire. Now, that wire is on a journey to be able to get to number 3, which is to express this mission. And so it's receiving, right? You're this receiver and the transmitter. So you're receiving these new energies, these new pings, new intuitive hits. And then it's that moment of, ooh, okay, now my ego, the outdated perception, or even just the current 3D version of my life that I manifested that maybe now is due for an upgrade. All of those things are going to then become apparent to you of the habits, the patterns, the thought loops, the behaviors that now are not a match for the new current running through your wire. And as you really embrace that purification process, first of all, you're going to notice all of those stories coming up. And then through that embrace of that process, you're going to end up seeing how that is inviting you to then express these energies that you've received in your unique way. And we're running through this in a more kind of overview way just to help you really tune into your own version of this process that's happening. And yeah, to really get you excited about how this is moving through your own life. Obviously, if you're coming to the mission event, if you're doing the mission activation, you're going to get to experience this more in depth to really sit with each pillar and really see what a stage of the wire you're at and how that's going to move through you. And yeah, to see how, notice that the expression of this next level self, the fully locked in version of you, that happens through the embrace of that purification process and through being the open-armed kind of alchemist that says, yes, bring me the doubt, bring me the fear, bring me the old stories, the patterns that are surfacing, the ego raging moments, and let me work the magic on that to turn it into now who I get to be in this lock-in moment.
Yeah, I'm just like feeling into how powerful it is to have the awareness on all of this. Like, holy shit, to understand the energetics of what's happening within your system when you are saying yes to the bigger energies that want to come through you. Like, the purification process is something that in and of itself is life altering. And I really hope you guys are feeling the depth of what it is that Bella's tapping us into. And I want to showcase this through like a visual. I want to just kind of take what you just shared and put it into like a visual representation that I'm going to speak out in words so that you guys can really feel into the energy of what we're tapping into. These 3 kind of processes that happen as we accept the frequency, as we accept the mission. I want you to imagine that you are this like kind of funnel or a device that takes energy and computes it into something else. It has an input and an output. And you can think of this also like the wire analogy that Bella's dropping us into. But it's really helpful to even simplify it and like make it like just like so simple. Imagining yourself, I don't know why I'm like imagining a toilet paper roll, like a literal cylinder where you are that vessel, that there is an elevated energy that it wants to travel through, and your body has all of these beautiful codes and algorithm that digest data and information in unique ways. So you can think about what we tapped into on the DNA Awakening episode right before this one and the one before that. We're really discussing the individual essence of each vessel and each being carrying these very beautiful codes. We all carry the universal codes, but some people express some more than others. And we have this unique set of codes that really are our gifts. And when you are acting as that vessel, not acting, when you are the vessel, and you are accepting the mission to now be the one that ushers in the higher frequencies, that energy is going to travel through your vessel and interact with your codes, your specific algorithms in a very beautiful, unique way, where when that energy is expressed outward, and then it's turning into an output through your creations, the way that you are moving through your life, your state of being, the life that you're building, you are literally evolving humanity, because that's consciousness expanding, right? It's one thing and then it turns into another. It observes itself in this way and then it realizes this and has a wider awareness on this and it makes this thing and then other people get to experience that. But back to this visual of you being the toilet paper roll, the cylinder, I want you to imagine that these three processes that happen, the energy is coming in through the cylinder, through you as a vessel, and you, in the attunement process, what you're accepting is that I will be the cylinder, I will be the vessel that can actually hold this energy, that can actually hold the heightened frequencies. And this is what you and I feel into with these lock-in chapters and the attunement part of this. You are really feeling into the things in your life, like how you were speaking to, the habits, the things that elevate your energy, that help you attune your instrument to be able to even hold that frequency that wants to come through. And that is where you get so unapologetic about listening to your inner authority and really freaking going in on that specific attunement of holding that energy. And then the energy starts to go further down into the vessel, into the cylinder, into you. And purification is when it starts to bring up all of the energies that aren't a match to that. So here come these elevated frequencies coming into the system, the mission coming into the system, the ideas, the inspiration. And then all of a sudden, what boils up to the top that starts squeezing out like a sponge being like gripped in your hand, what is coming out is the doubt, is the fear, is the density. Any frequency of thought or emotion that is not in resonance with that frequency of the mission is going to come to the surface. And what I was saying before about purification being so life altering to understand, holy crap, the amount of people that don't continue their lock-in because they make meaning out of the energies that are arising. Like you and I have always experienced these energies arising, but because of this awareness that we have on this process of purification, we understand what to do. This is when the tools come in. This is when we start using this tool and that tool, subconscious healing, like DNA awakening, like insert every freaking tool that we use. And you guys have your own tools, or maybe you're in the portal and you're learning about our tools, or you're learning about them through our episodes, or whatever it is, like you're reading the books, whatever it is. This is when you get to take your elevated awareness and transmute that density and use your consciousness and compassion and your heart. So just imagine that the funnel, the cylinder, it starts to rid itself of those frequencies. And when you're locking into the being that can actually still show up as the cylinder, as the vessel that can handle those energies. That is a really important part of the lock-in. Because if you're not locked into that, that's when you get lost in the sauce. That's when you get swept away. And that's when you really start to identify more with the density. And it's divine, because that is a lesson in and of itself. But holy crap, the shifts that occur in your life when you understand purification and what's happening on an energetic level. And just to drop into this last one and more apply it to the visual that I'm showcasing here, the expression is now you are the vessel for this energy. How does it now want to be an output? Like, what are the specific aligned actions that you're receiving in terms of sharing this energy? What are the things that you are here to express? Like, this is why expression is the last part of this really beautiful, like three-part processes. And this is where you get so unapologetic about expressing your energy outward. And this is when you start painting on your reality field with those frequencies. And this is when you turn the unseen into the seen. And this is when you start making frequency into a real thing that is tangible, that can be experienced by other people. And this is what we literally did with this process. Like, we're tuning into our own energies, our own channel, and literally funneling in this wisdom to then put it into a structure and share it with you guys. Like, how fucking wild is that? And then you get to experience this and your consciousness expands. Like, this is the power of expression and art. It's wild.
Yeah. Right here. So profound. Yeah. And then the bow that ties this all together is your identity and who you are. And this is kind of like the final nugget that we'll leave you with here to really contemplate and to see how see where this ultimate lock-in is taking you, the quote unquote intermittent finish line of this one little chapter, which is who you are, and asking yourself, what is the version of you, the I am statement, the overarching identity, the vessel that is at one with this process?
Mm,
That soul identity is going to be informed by your soul and your intuition, and only you know what that is.
mm,
Only you know deep down what that flavor of soul expression and devotion to the mission, who is the being that encapsulates all of that and does that like breath and like their second nature.
yeah.
So this whole process ultimately invites you into a being, a certain identity of self that is realizing, oh, I don't need to identify anymore with the limiting circumstance or the limiting thoughts or the patterns. I now identify as my soul, and I
Mm,
identify as whatever concept of self allows me to be at one with this process and more surrendered, more trusting of self, of universe, of God. And that right there is really what the lock in is about. It's not even really about what you're doing and the, you know, 3D manifestation of it. Yes, that's a huge, beautiful part of it. But really, on the frequency level, what this is what is the new flavor of consciousness that you are ushering forward? What is the archetype of energy that you are the steward of for this planet? And how do
mm.
you house that in your vessel and in your personality and your behaviors and your actions and every other piece that we've talked about? That is all held together by the most essential you that you are.
Mm. This is so powerful. I'm just like, wow, this is like speaking, sharing this and speaking this out in this way is just so activating.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just want you guys to feel into what is happening for you in your life right now. And this is something that Lee Harris was talking about with the energies for December and coming into
Mm.
2026. Like, start tuning into these energies now. Like, there is a reason we are hosting this lock in activation this Thursday. Either
Yeah.
you're doing this, go do it on your own, do it with us, like, just do it. Just lock
Yeah.
in, however that looks to you. And what Lee Harris was tapping us into is that the energies right now are so supportive in you bringing in these energies, these frequencies into your now. And don't
Yeah.
wait till like the beginning of 2026. Do it now. Like, feel into
Yeah.
it and lock into it. It's like while everyone else is like caught up in the holiday, like, lock in, lock
Yeah.
in,
Yes.
literally
Yeah.
lock in. I'm feeling that. This is the first year I'm not going to be seeing family for the holidays. And I feel like it's really divine. And yeah, I just feel like yeah, I'm just seeing them on different weeks that don't happen to be on the holidays. And yeah, it just feels like a really divine moment of really saying yes and locking in. And I want to share that if you guys want to experience this with us, I just want to drop you into a little bit more details of the event. We're going to be doing a channel transmission that's going to be dropping into deeper codes of what we're showcasing here and sharing with you guys on the anatomy of a lock in. There'll be visual representation and just sharing a bit more in depth about these three pillars and the overarching pillar of the identity shift. We're going to be doing an actual activation of this, which is going to be a guided journey by Bella and I, where we utilize the power of breath, visualization, melodic house music. You know how we do. These journeys are insane. And these are going to be, the journey is going to be where you really hone in and start to feel the frequency enter your vessel and get in tune with what that energy truly feels like. And from there, you're going to be really tapping into a higher awareness on what the frequency is, what the purification is, like what energies are arising for you, how it is that you can face those and really hold them and transmute. And then also the expression, receiving clarity on the way that energy wants to be expressed. And At the end, we're going to be doing an identity lock-in, really the overarching theme, the identity that you are being called to embody. And I cannot even imagine how freaking powerful this is going to be to do with a group of beings, whether you're watching the replay or doing it live with us. Holy bananas. I'm so excited because we also are in this energy. Like we
I
just did
know.
this for ourselves right before we recorded this. We were going through our own lock-in of going through each of the processes and each pillar of the art, the anatomy, and it is insane. The energy that we were tuned into after. I feel so knowing, so fucking trusting, and so guided. I'm like, let's freaking go. Let's
Yeah.
freaking go.
It just literally flings you into, this is what it is we talk about, pulling that energy from the quote unquote future, the vision. You open your eyes, we're looking at our 3D setup and we're like, it's here. This is it. I'm her. You're her. Let's go. Mission's happening. I'm a vessel for the mission. Done deal. Identity level shift.
Yes.
Like bananas, quantum leap, just magic right there. And yeah, I am so stoked for this. And this is one of my favorite things about doing these events and just also even like providing these activations is to feel into both live and through all the beings that come through it after we do it live, how beautiful it is that like every single soul that is locking in, you can feel it as like a beautiful tremor on the planet. You can feel it in our
Yes.
community, the uplifting that happens immediately when a soul chooses to do this, when a being says, you know what? I feel the fear. I feel the doubt. I feel the confusion. I feel all of that. Good. And takes that and alchemizes it. I mean, what power to then funnel into the rest of your day, week, year, and life, and the thing that you are here to do and to be. It gives me chills, makes me so just honored. And to sit in those rooms and spaces and see then like comments that flood in and just like, wow, the beings that then also everyone looking at each other as these fully empowered beings. Like that's the thing that's life changing is you're reading these comments and you're feeling this energy of like, oh my goodness, all of these people are all perceiving each other through that lens of we're all limitless souls locking in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's insane. It's just like a profound experience.
Yeah. This is a literal paradigm that we're all in now.
It's paradigm.
Yeah. And this is why I just encourage you guys to, whether it's with us or someone else that's hosting community gatherings, find your people and get in spaces where you are surrounded by beings that can see you in your highest. And not to say that we can't interact with our reality field and start seeing other people in their highest and then experience that reflected back, but just I just encourage you to find your community, whether that's with us, with the portal, with our live events, our membership, another facilitator, your local yoga shop. Just find your people and really start surrounding yourself with this knowing and connection to the limitless potential that exists in this reality field, because the energies that are here right now are literally slingshotting us into heaven on earth. And we're here right now. Like, play with the nuance here. It's in our current reality right here, right now. But I just feel so incredibly grateful for the spaces that we're a part of, the spaces that we create. Like, it is magic, pure freaking magic. So definitely, if you guys are feeling the call to lock in, go right now to the link that is below and purchase your ticket to the mission activation that is happening on December 11th. If you are listening to this after, go tune in to the transmission and trust that you are listening to this at the exact moment that you were meant to. Don't worry about not being there live. The replay holds the freaking codes. It holds the codes. And if you are listening to this before December 11th, we will see you guys live on the event, and it's going to be Banana Land. So, do you have any other messages that you want to share with the lock-in? This energy. I'm like,
I'm surfing right now. I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, honestly, I just feel so grateful, excited, honored, and yeah, I'm like ready to party, dude. Like,
Yeah, me too.
just incredible. So open, so connected. Wow. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let us know it resonated, and can't wait to see you there if you're going to be there live. Can't wait to see how this impacts you when you do it on your own in your own time. The mission activation, and yeah, just wow, incredible.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you inside of the activation. Lock in time, baby.
Let's go.